talking unless y'all giving me land and 2,000 or more every week. You hear me?
I'm not talking unless y'all liking the video, commenting, and subscribing to the channel. All right. I had to do my intro because we always do the intro. However, as chuckling as the intro may be, this is not a chuckling moment. For me, it's a very sad moment. Definitely in my feelings about it a bit, and all I keep saying is I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry this happened to you. And what we're going to be talking about is a young man by the name of Caleb Wilson. And I have to touch on this story because this young man, from what we learned, died this week, from my understanding, and he passed away due to a hazing situation incident. Hazing, I don't even know if it people are saying that it's a ritual, because oftentimes when they think of Black Greek letter organizations, they hear ritual, right? I don't know if this was a ritual, something that they often do, or if these were careless people just do. I don't have all of the details about it, but it's definitely affiliated to um, a Black Greek letter organization, um, and that is Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. And I want to talk about this story. Myself being a member of the D9, I just wanted to touch on this story just a bit, to learn about this young man's passing. Is just so sad. Honestly, it's not even just him, y'all. It's just anybody that has found themselves on the other side of life, for lack of better words, found themselves unalived, trying to join and be a part of organizations. A lot of people are going to only focus on the Black organizations, but a lot of hazing take place in a variety of organizations. It's not just Black ones. You have your white fraternities. As a matter of fact, in Georgia here, I believe it's Georgia State University. I believe they were just called out not too long ago for some hazing and things that or was it? And I think it was Georgia Southern University, but it was a university in Georgia. I do believe this is a white organization that I've never heard of before, and there's hazing that takes place there too. It's a lot that goes on, and there have been people to die in, whether it's a white organization, Black organization, but it's definitely happened across the board, and it's something that just should not happen. It just should not happen. I do believe that a lot of these organizations, from a higher standpoint, right, not so much as just the chapters, but the organizations as a whole has tried over the years to come down on hazing, right? They do ask individuals, if you are experiencing certain things, to come to us and let us know so that we can handle things accordingly, right? Because they want you to be a part of these organizations, and they don't want you to have to lose your life to be a part of said organizations. What's really unfortunate, especially if you go to like Black universities, which is where, I pledged at. When you go to these organizations, there are things that you go through. Should those things actually be physical? In my opinion, I don't think that they should be. Has it happened? Yes. In my opinion, it was much worse back in the day than what it has been. However, there are still individuals that experience strenuous things, and it leads to death, and it just shouldn't have to be like that if you're entering a sisterhood or a brotherhood or any of that. And I just really feel bad for any person that has lost their life for trying to join something. And I have to take it as far as, I've heard stories about people trying to be a part of the military and didn't make it out. They have their own forms as well of hazing. I know a lot of people like to highlight the like I said, Black Greek letter organizations. And I'm also going to highlight the white ones, and not excusing anybody, but I just want everybody to understand that it's a wide range in which these things happen, right? As well as the military. There are a lot of people that have to go through and do certain things as well in the different branches of the military. And I just feel like, it shouldn't take all of that. Now, some people may feel like when it comes to the military, it's a bit different because it's supposed to build you up to be tougher just in case you have to go to, have combat or whatnot. I do feel like it also exists in the different police fraternal organizations that they may have. But all in all, it's just really, really sad. And I really feel so bad for this young man, Caleb. I do want to, tap into his story just a little bit. And all I can say is that I'm just so sorry. You know what I'm saying? The baby is like 20. He's like around the same age as my son. And I can't, I can't. I am glad that my son hasn't fully shown like interest in wanting to be a part of those organizations. I know, of course, it would be his choice if that's something he wanted to do and which one he would want to join. That's up to him. But the way it began crazy, I'd be like, don't try to do alumni chapter. Hello, but anywho, um, yeah. So it's a lie. And his granddad is an Omega, but he did not do undergraduate. He did do an alumni chapter. So yeah, but I just really hate it for this young man being so young. As parents, you send your kids off to college and want them to, excel and do well. And that is just that's the most heartbreaking, just any young person losing their life. But it's like, dang, you went all of these years to do right when it comes to your kids, make sure they're on the right path, doing what they need to do. They go off to college, and it could be a situation like hazing, right? It could be a situation of them losing their life in the process of joining an organization. It could be having a bad roommate, right? And you and that roommate get into it. I remember it was this story years ago from Bowie State. I believe it was Bowie State University, where these two ladies got into it and one of them stabbed the other. And I think the girl went to jail for the one that killed her, went to jail for a little bit of time, but she got out. She's been really like ghost on social media, but I'll check in from time to time, like try to see if I can find anything on her to see what she's up to. But anywho, all in all, that's just what I wanted to highlight and say, that you send your kids off to college in an effort and hope that they're going to do great things, and at any moment, their life could be gone. And that's not all kids, but there are a few. It was another story last year where this girl's boyfriend went onto the campus and unalived her. So it's just, I just hate it. I just feel so bad. But getting back on topic to this young man passing away, it's just so like, what were y'all doing? What were y'all doing? And sometimes I do think that with organizations, some people don't go through a whole lot. I think some people hype up stories of what they went through to make themselves appear more tougher, as far as pledging in undergrad. And then some of the stories be real. That, some people really do go through a lot of things to be a part of these organizations. And sometimes you also, as I said, have the nationals, the head people that would like to follow a certain protocol and certain procedures that are definitely put in place. But sometimes you have people that's the big folks on campus, right? And I went through this. I want to put you through it. I went through this or that. It's just a mess. It's definitely a mess. And I just feel like nobody should have to lose their life over that. I believe it was a situation, and I think this could have been an alumni chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha over in, was it California? I think some people could have been like, women could have had their hands or wrists duct taped or something like that, and they had to figure it out after they were in the ocean or something, like thrown in the ocean. It was something about being on a beach. Let me see if I can find that. Okay, yeah. So that was in like 2004. 5 years later, still hunted by the drowning. Yeah. Um, family sues over drowning during alleged sorority hazing. So yeah, that was like a long time ago. I feel like I thought it was much sooner than that, but it looks like this article was from 2004. But and I remember Delta had a situation that was out in Tennessee that I believe led to somebody passing away, and all of those ladies got kicked out the organization. Like, it's sad. When I tell you, there will not be an Omega Psi Phi chapter down there at Southern University, and should it return, it's gonna be likely maybe 10 years or more. Okay, before y'all come back. Like, y'all are about to be suspended, kicked off indefinitely. Anybody that had anything to do with this, if you were online to be Omega Sci-Fi, you probably not gonna make it through, baby love. You might not. They might end your process altogether. Okay. They can't move forward. It's an investigation. Somebody died, right? Not sure of what was happening. Don't know if they may have had the guys doing some physical things that led to this young man's passing, but I definitely want more details about it. And I'm just so sorry to his family that this happened. I don't know if anybody in his family is in an organization and he wanted to join one too. I saw a tweet and I missed it earlier. Somebody was trying to say that his dad was a retired something, and I missed it. I didn't catch it. I hate that I did not I hate that I didn't catch it. But I'm so sorry this happened to you, Caleb. I'm so sorry to Caleb's family that this happened. When I tell you, I would be suing. Like, once I get through this, as far as figuring out what happened to my child, how it happened, what was going on, after everybody has been reprimanded, because y'all guys got to be careful. I don't know everything that went down, but if it was anything physical or whatever, and they could put murder charges on y'all, good luck. Good luck. Good luck, because it should never be that serious to join an organization that you will want to catch charges like that, in my personal. um Also, not only would I sue the organization, I would sue the university. However, I will say I don't know if the university can be sued, being that this was a situation that happened off campus. So I don't know how that works, but they may be held responsible in some capacity, being that this was a chapter of their, at their school. You know what else is interesting too? Sometimes you have people that have graduated from the school and then still be coming back trying to be a part and all of that. And you got to be careful with that. I'm sure the people within the larger level of the organization, nationals, all of that, may let them know, like, don't be trying to let nobody come back, because them old heads, whoever, they'll be trying to come in and do some little shaky wakey and then get y'all tied the hell up for real, for real. Okay. And in all honesty, you gonna be the one that's gonna probably catch the bigger charge than they is. Because these people are within your responsibility. I'm just I just hate it so much for him. Let me see if there was anything. Oh wow. One of the teachers says, "Rest in peace, Caleb Wilson. It was a pleasure being your college advisor, having our talks these past 4 years. You never missed a meeting with me, always had me reminiscing on my Southern University days. Boy, I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss your bright energy, my motherfucking little homie." Okay? That's sad. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to this young man and anyone who has lost a family member that only wanted to be a part of an organization. It's really, really sad. I wanted to see if I could find a story before we get into his story. I was trying to see if that story was still up about his dad, because I wanted to know more. I didn't know if his dad was like in the organization prior or what, or if he could have been a part of the police force of some sort and has retired, or if he held a high position at the university at some point and was retired. But hopefully we'll get that information soon. But again, I am so sorry this happened to Caleb, but I do want to get into one of the articles regarding his story, and then we'll get into some news reports. Okay. So they're letting us know that college student 20 of age reportedly dies after taking part in an off-campus fraternity ritual. All right. I can't. So they're saying on Thursday, February 27th at about 3:15 a.m., Caleb, who was a mechanical engineering junior, that was his major, mechanical engineering. He was a junior. They said he was pronounced dead after being taken to Baton Rouge General Hospital by friends. Wilson had reportedly been taking part in a ritual with members of Omega Psi Phi at North Sherwood Forest Community Park. All right. They're saying sources told officers that those participating in the event had been standing in a line as part of an initiation process when Wilson reportedly collapsed. Wow, wow, wow. And what did he collapse from? Was something given? What was it? I do feel like this could go either way. And I'm not defending anyone when it comes to the passing of this young man, but I am just, I like to just try to look at everything. And I feel like details are missing, and I would like to know what happened before then. And if you guys are pulling them out there at night, did he was he like exhausted, tired? Uh, did he have a heart attack or something? The cause of death is not known, but I'm just wondering, could it be something to where they would not be, um, I would say 100% liable for his passing if it could have been a medical condition within him. I do feel like it would be part of their responsibility, being that it was at 3:15 when they pronounced him dead. I don't know how long they were working on him, how long he was at the hospital or whatever, but it seems like at 3:15 they pronounced him dead. So I would say that you guys had them out there. So they came out there because y'all wanted them out there. All right. And it's possible that had he not been out there that night, then we probably would still have Caleb today. So I do believe that there is a bit of responsibility, but I also question, let's say he had a heart attack at the age of 20, if that's even possible, right? Would that be, and it could have been contributed to a medical condition, would that be 100% their fault or just a piece? But I mean, at minimum, I do feel like y'all, Omega Psi Phi is responsible in some capacity. But let's keep going. So they're saying this young man who was from New Orleans, y'all, had reportedly been taking part in a ritual. They said they also go on to say sources told officers that those participating in the event were standing in a line right before he collapsed. All right. They said student organizations at Southern University have paused membership activities for the time being amid the ongoing investigation. So that means what I'm hearing, anybody that's online for Delta, Alpha Kappa Alpha, Zeta Phi Beta, Sigma Gamma Rho, Kappa Alpha Psi, Iota Phi Theta, any of those, Alpha Phi Alpha, any of those, it seems like it's on pause. And I think that it should be, because this is a serious situation. And anybody that was going down the road of where, Omega Psi Phi and Caleb, going down that road, halt. And y'all probably, whenever they decide to tell you guys y'all can move forward, whatever direction you was going, if you were going down that lane, it's time to switch it up, because that's crazy. All right. They Southern University and A&M College posted something saying that it is with profound sadness that I share the devastating news of the passing of one of our students. Caleb, a junior from New Orleans, majoring in mechanical engineering. All right, he did pass away. They said this tragic loss leaves a void in their Jaguar family, and their thoughts and prayers are with Caleb's family, friends, and classmates. It's just so sad. It's off-campus incident, but I don't think that Southern can distance themselves wholeheartedly from that. Wow, I'm so sorry this happened to him. I do want to show you guys more pictures of Caleb over here on Southern's page. It looks like he was a member of the band, y'all. Oh, and all he wanted was just to try, that's the thing, that's the college experience, right? Being a part of extracurricular activities while maintaining, your courses, and then wanting to join organizations. So sorry. And even with the band, I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel like there's a bit of hazing in the band too. Like it's all over. It's so many different. It's all over, right? So y'all definitely did something, honey. Y'all, I don't know if y'all struck that boy. I don't know. I do want to get more details, but this is not good. All right. Okay, so this is where we do get more details about the dad. They say Jefferson's Parish Sheriff's Office, where the victim's father, Corey Wilson, worked, also paid tribute, saying on behalf of Sheriff Joseph Lapinto, the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office extends its condolences to Deputy Corey Wilson and his family. Deputy Wilson retired last year as a sergeant after serving 35 years with them. They go on to say that Deputy Wilson's commitment to public service has continued, with him currently serving in our reserve division. Ooh, baby. May y'all not see peace. May you not know it. May you not know it. This is something that's going to definitely stick with every single person involved for the rest of their lives. And you better hope. I feel like there was another situation with Omega Psi Phi that led to some of their members being arrested. Let me see. When I feel like it was in recent years. Let me see. Wow. Y'all just had a situation in December. All right, Omega Psi Phi. Okay, so this was in 2023. Was this it? Let me double check. Is this the same thing? Give me 1 second, y'all. Oh no, those were those 3 officers. Okay, I remember that. So there was a situation involving Tyree Nichols, and I remember when those police officers came together to form some type of community, or not really a community, but more so like some type of team, some dog team, or whatever they came together to do with the military. And those 3 individuals were a part of Omega Psi Phi, and they ended up getting kicked out of the organization. And I do believe those guys went to prison, I thought, over the death of Tyree Nichols. So maybe that's the one that I'm thinking about there. But yeah, there's another one. Arrest warrants issued in alleged fraternity hazing incident. A student reported he was hazed after pledging Theta Beta Beta. Oh no, this is another organ. Oh no, Theta Beta Beta fraternity, a local chapter of the National Omega Psi Phi fraternity. Oh, wow. And they said he had visible injuries. Child, listen. Y'all, yeah. This is a mess here. This is a mess. It's terrible. Now, let us go ahead and get into what this news report has to say about the situation at hand.
Tonight, 2 Louisiana universities are dealing with the loss of students in separate tragedies. Both students are from the New Orleans area.
Yeah, the Baton Rouge police say 20-year-old Caleb Wilson died sometime overnight after being brought to the hospital, but the details on that are still unclear. Amelia Strahan spoke with Wilson's pastor, who says their community is just devastated.
I baptized Caleb, one of those young men who was very mannerable. I call him a bright light.
When Caleb Wilson's parents told Reverend Mitchell Stevens their son had passed away overnight, the pastor was in shock.
Just unbelievable. We were devastated to hear the news. My wife and I traveled to Baton Rouge to be with them.
The 20-year-old was a junior engineering student at Southern University, a Warren Eastern grad, and Stevens' son's best friend.
Caleb and my son are best friends. And they're the same age, but they grew up together in the church, and even in college. Caleb went to Southern, my son went to UCLA in Los Angeles, but they still remain best of friends.
According to Baton Rouge Police Department, they were called after a group of people brought a student into a local hospital. Police say the investigation began at North Sherwood Forest Community Park, but what happened there is still unclear. East Baton Rouge's coroner identified the student as Wilson, but said a cause of death hasn't been determined yet. Southern University released a statement saying they're aware of an off-campus incident that may have resulted in Wilson's death and are cooperating with investigators. Stevens describes the family as pillars of the community.
Great parents. His father is in law enforcement, and his mother is just a beautiful person inside and out.
Wilson's father has worked at Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office for over 30 years. Sheriff Joe Lapinto says he extends his condolences to Deputy Corey Wilson and his family following the heartbreaking loss of his son Caleb. Stevens says on Sunday the church will hold a prayer service as they heal from this great loss.
I'm going to bring in a grief counselor to speak especially to our children and our youth and our young adults who are very close to Caleb.
Amelia Strahan, WWL, Louisiana.
That is so terrible, y'all. That's so terrible.
A tragic loss for this Southern University community today after a 20-year-old student died. Baton Rouge police investigating the death of 20-year-old Caleb Wilson, who was brought to the hospital unresponsive overnight. News 2's Alexis Maroney spent the afternoon on Southern's campus talking to students about Caleb Wilson.
Sylvia, I spoke to students today who knew Caleb Wilson, a trumpet player in the Human Jukebox. They say he was energetic and full of life.
Campus has been quiet, and it's an unusual type of quiet because of what we all just found out, the news that we found out.
The news, a 20-year-old Southern University student died.
Fairness to the young man's parents and family, I think everyone should be cautious as to what they're saying, thinking, or jumping to.
What happened last night to Caleb Wilson is unclear. He was a junior from New Orleans, a trumpet player in the Human Jukebox, and majoring in mechanical engineering.
Police and sheriff's office take the matter very seriously.
Police were called to a hospital where a group of people brought him late Wednesday night. He was unresponsive.
Always sad to see someone die like that at a young age.
Sources tell WBRZ Wilson was involved with Omega Psi Phi Fraternity. Police say the night started at North Shorewood Forest Community Park, and that's where they started investigating. Wilson's father is a former Jefferson Parish Sheriff's deputy. In response to the death, the Sheriff's Office released a statement saying, in part, the JPSO stands in support of Deputy Wilson and his family. We ask that their privacy be respected as they mourn this unimaginable loss.
It may be medical, it may be something different, but at this point, nobody really knows because we still have it's very early on.
Wow, y'all, that's terrible. Again, I am so sorry this happened to Caleb. It's definitely giving justice for Caleb, child. I definitely see the family getting there. I think anybody involved should be shaking in their fucking boots, baby. They are about to shut the chapter down, and they about to shut y'all down too in just a minute once they finish this investigation. And I don't know what you may be facing. You're probably going to be kicked out the organization. I don't know if Caleb had any bruises on his body, if he was attacked, if anything may have happened that would lead to further charges being placed on people. Not really sure, but it's really sad because that's not what that's not what the D9 is for. That's not why it was found. Those organizations were founded or created or any of that, but when people create things with the best intentions, oftentimes it gets in hands of people that want to show their ass and want to exhibit, any type of power or whatever it is, anything that's going to give them that extra validation to do whatever they're going to do. And people will take things too far. And this was definitely taken too far. And I really hate it for that family. Like I told y'all earlier, they trying to send their kid off to college, do the right things, raise them right, do everything and get them to that point. And then you have situations like this. That's just, it's scary. It's sad. I'm just... Child. Yeah, I don't know what y'all gonna need to do further. Okay. I definitely believe that, the organizations at a higher level have tried to put things in place to prevent hazing from happening, right? In a variety of ways, and it's always gonna be those few that's gonna operate outside and beyond the call of duty and what's supposed to be done. And it leads to situations like this, situations that should have never, ever, 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 ever happen. Child, I can't. But I know you guys are going to have a whole lot to say underneath the comments, going back and forth, arguing and whatever else you're going to say. And people that may not be a part of organizations and may not understand it and only may go off of, things that they may hear. I can't even fault you, especially, if you're not in it or whatever. Just be mindful of how you guys talk. That's number one. And just also know that this young man lost his life, okay? I don't know if his family going to be in the comments, or anything like that. Check reading, not so much as commenting, but reading some of what you guys may have to say. So just be mindful, all right? And rest in peace to Caleb Wilson. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But this gonna be on my mind for a minute, y'all. Especially with him being around the same age. He's like a year younger than my son. Like that's just Who wants to wake up to that the next morning? You think your kid good, and you wake up and they, girl, what? I'm so sorry. But y'all got it coming to y'all, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. You guys leave your thoughts and comments down below. I'm Jami. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters. I'm silent. Nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification. Them numbers hit like it's a praxis. Cash died at the ATM. And the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATL. Got them trying to clone me like Aegis. Game time, I invaded gym. High elevated, I can face the rim. Putting shots up. I got laser focus, about to take it over. I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man? They say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasting film. I can feel the pool